Now, Amit, you read this paragraph, the capacity.
The capacity response scales refer to a capacity for a feeling, state, or behavior. The assumption is that a more complete capacity is associated with corresponding changes in quality of life. Example questions include: do you have enough energy for everyday life? And to what extent are you able to carry out your daily activities? In English, the anchor points are not at all and completely. Completed, sir.
So is it clear what is the meaning of the capacity response scale? What is the difference between capacity response scale and the intensity response scale?
So can I give an example? So, for example, in the intensity one, if there is how much pain you're experiencing, and in the capacity one, there will be how well are you able to cope with that pain, sort of.
Very good. Now, Shima, frequency.
The frequency response scale pairings refers to the number, frequency, commonness, or rate of a state or behavior. The time frame is crucial to these questions, such that the frequency refers to its frequency in the specified time period. The assumption is that a greater number of occurrence of the state or behavior is associated with corresponding changes in quality of life. Example questions are: how often do you have negative feelings, such as blue mood, despair, anxiety, depression? And how often do you suffer physical pain? In English, the anchor points are never and always.
So what's the difference between the capacity, intensity, this frequency scale?
So they're asking how often something happens. So how often a mood you are in a specific mood, for example.
Okay, now Pooja, evaluation.
The evaluation response scale refers to the appraisal of a state, capacity, or behavior. The assumption is that a more positive evaluation is associated with a corresponding increase in the respondent's quality of life. Example questions are: how satisfied are you with your capacity for work? And how satisfied are you with your personal relationships? Several evaluation scales are employed. In English, the anchor points are very happy, very unhappy, very satisfied, very dissatisfied, and very good to very poor. This response scale differs from the intensity, frequency, and capacity response scales in that it has a neutral midpoint, and the anchor points are not extreme points to maximize full range, full usage of the scale. In several languages, example Croatian and Dutch, the distinction between the two questions stems how satisfied and how happy does not translate. And all of these questions and response scales therefore become how satisfied.
Is it clear now?
What is the meaning of neutral point, sir?
Moderate amount. Now you go to the page number 70. Page number 70. Amruta, please you read.
Yes, sir. Be based as far as possible on the suggestions of patients and health personnel participating in the focus groups. Second, give rise to answers that are illuminating about the respondents' quality of life as defined in this project. Third, reflect the meaning conveyed in the facet definition. Fourth, cover in combination with other questions for a given facet the key aspect of the facet as described in the facet definition. Fifth, use simple language, avoiding ambiguity in terms of either wording or phraseology. Sixth, be shorter rather than longer. Seventh, avoid double negatives. Eighth, be amenable to a rating scale. Ninth, ask about a single issue or facet. 10th, avoid any explicit reference point either in terms of time or in terms of some comparison point. Example, the ideal or before I was ill. 11th, be applicable to individuals with a range of impairment from very little to a lot. Be phrased as questions and not statements. 13th, reflect the typology of questions adopted for the project.
Pooja, what is the meaning? Avoid double negatives.
So double negatives means that in one statement, there are two things which we are asking and they are not, like, I am not allowed to not talk in the class. It is double negative. It is inducing ambiguity and confusion in the reader.
So it is clear. So when you want to construct the item of the questionnaire, you have to follow this thing. Okay. Amit, use simple language, avoiding ambiguity. Why?
So, avoiding ambiguity.
Gurubi, can you tell me any question, any statement that there will be some ambiguity? Amit, have you followed what Pooja has told?
Sir, double negative, even I have not understood properly.
So Pooja, please you guide.
So Dr. Amit, the double negatives are like in one statement. Basically, we are trying to know whether the person has a preference for something or not. But we end up kind of making the person choose not. Like we are giving the clue of response. So I'm not interested to not talk in the class. So it will kind of give a prompt to the person that, okay, I am expecting answer should be no. So because like items are, we try to make the items as objective so that everybody can have a preference. So these double negatives create more bias and also confusion because the person is not able to understand what is not being expected and not discussed like that.
So we don't have to lead the question.
Right. In a way, it leads also, and in a way, it also confuses the person. What is the thing which the person is meaning to say? Because there are two knots.
Okay. Do you have any idea, Amruta, about Shara, about the cognitive taxation? What's the meaning of cognitive taxation?
Am I audible?
Yeah, Amruta.
Hello.
Sarah here, sir.
Okay, Shara. You are audible.
Cognitive taxation is more about the load that's taken by the brain to process language or any task per se. So when there are long phrases or double negatives, the brain takes more time and it creates more confusion because of the time it takes to process the information, and the accuracy is affected because of that.
Very good. Amit, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So if the statement is shorter rather than longer, and if the statement has simple language, and if the statement avoids the double negative, then the cognitive taxation will be high or low?
Low.
Low. Okay. Here it is written, be amenable to a rating scale. What does it mean?
So something that gets back the answer that the rating scales are asking. So for example, we don't ask the exact type of transportation somebody is using. We ask how often you are using it or how easily you can access transportation.
But why?
So we can compare, I think, two answers we can compare on the same scale.
So that whatever questions we are asking, that should be adjoined to any particular rating scale like Likert. That is my understanding.
Okay. So we can make the correlation. Okay. What is the meaning of be phrased as questions and not statements? Pooja?
So questions have a more clear way of leading the person, helping the person understand the purpose. And statements can be declarative, that it's like it should be done kind of that. So questions can be having either answers, whether we can agree to a question, we can disagree to a question. And also questions also have a thing of having personalized touch, that do you agree? Are you satisfied with, let's say, the pay scale offered? So it is more direct to the person reading.
Very good.
Means, sir, if we ask the question like how satisfied you are with the any process, rather than that, if we ask like directly about the satisfaction, then that becomes phrase or statement. Or
Okay,
means,
now you go to the page number 73. What is written, Paudabi?
The following, so instructions for the questions. The following questions ask about how much you have experienced certain things in the last 2 weeks. For example, positive feelings such as happiness or contentment. If you have experienced these things, an extreme amount, circle the number next to an extreme amount. If you have not experienced these things at all, circle the number next to not at all. You should circle one of the numbers in between if you wish to indicate your answer lies somewhere between not at all and extremely. Questions refer to the last 2 weeks. So this is based on frequency.
So why the last 2 weeks?
So,
Why not
so
last month?
it becomes too broad of a range. I think 2 weeks is, and it is easily remembered the last
Correct,
2 weeks. Yeah.
Can you tell me where are the items related to the satisfaction?
How much do you, question number, this 4.1, how much do you enjoy life? How positive do you feel about the future?
No, it will be G2.
Okay, G2.
Okay. So this is about the WHO QOL. So what are the things you have learned today? Pooja? Related to the questionnaire construction, what are the things?
So we learned that how the purpose of constructing a questionnaire helps. Having a clarity of the purpose helps us design it in a more comprehensive way. And we discussed the domains and the subdomains of WHO, which covers a whole range of types of quality of life. And then we also learned about how to frame items. What are the considerations while framing items in a test?
Okay. Anything more, Purabi?
So yeah. So we saw the importance of narrowing down the items into domains and subdomains so that it can be separated easily. And we saw that the response scale should fall into some specific categories like intensity, capacity, frequency, and evaluation.
Wow, very good. Amit, what you have learned today?
Sir, means discrimination of the quality of life into various domains like physical domain, psychological domain, environment, and then how to categorize or how to build the questionnaires on the basis of certain criteria for WHOQL, like how the language should be, what should be the length of the question, how it should be amenable to rating scale. We should avoid some double meaning questions. It should be as a question, not as a statement.
Shara?
Yes, sir. Like almost everyone has summed up what I wanted to say. My most important learning was about the guidelines that were given in WHO QOL, which can be applicable to most of the questionnaires. Like Amit sir has already mentioned a few, like the statements need to be short, and why we need to follow those guidelines in order to avoid cognitive taxation on the participants.
Amruta?
Yeah, sir. Everyone has said all most of the things already. So what I learned today is so how should we think about the domains? Which consideration should we think before we make a questionnaire? And also about also when we are making a question, we have to think about the participant also. So so it is more convenient or it is more in the favorable to the participant.
Few things more. Okay. Shima? Shima, yes.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Sorry,
audible.
there is some connection issue, network issue. That's why I just missed the last part.
Yeah, another important part is the rating scale. Okay, so all the items should follow the pattern of rating scale so that we can correlate.
Okay.
Okay, so we can get the intercorrelation matrix of the questionnaire.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay,
So
sir.
I think you have understood. Now
Yes, sir.
it is your function. Now it is your task, because next class that will be held on Monday. So you will
Yes.
get 2 days time to do some assignment. Assignment is very simple. You will answer to all the questions, and after that you will score. It is your personal. Okay. The scoring procedure already there, so you can make. This is the physical quality of life, environmental quality of life, spiritual quality of life. All those things are there. So then you can find out your own impression, and then we can share. Okay. ঠিক আছে, good night. My best wishes to all of you. We'll sit together on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.